Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is February 1st and time to pick my February TBR, but first we need to talk about my January TBR. So I had 5 books that I ended up picking out. I read 3 of them and then I didn't end up starting either Saint or Hidden Figures. I had the best intentions to read both of these, but Onyx Storm came out at the end of January and I decided to read that instead of reading off the rest of my TBR, which I'm okay with. And then I also acquired quite a few books in January. So the first one I acquired, and I'm not sure if I got this in December or January, but I think it was early January. Out of the Woods. This one I won in a Goodreads giveaway. Then I also got both The Silent Patient and When the Moon Hatched. These were ones that I picked up using a gift card. And I think that's all of them. And then my partner bought me these really pretty set of the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings in this like mini pocket size, like leather bound set. So he got me that for Christmas. And then I obviously acquired Onyx Storm, but I've already finished that book, so that one, it won't be part of the TBR. But we're going to add Saint and Hidden Figures back to the TBR. Actually, I'm going to add Saint back to the TBR, and we're back to stacking them on top, so, you know, not quite there. But I am going to roll Hidden Figures over because this is on my priority TBR for this year, because this is one of the 4 books that I started 2024 with and did not read. So we're going to roll Hidden Figures over because I promised myself I would start that in January and I just did not get around to it. So that one's rolling over to February, and then I think I'm going to pick 4 more books to add to my February TBR. I'm trying to keep these a little bit more realistic than I have in the past, so I'm hoping that I have more than just 1 month of the year that I hit all the books on my TBR. So with that all out of the way, I have my cup of prompts and let's pick some books. Okay, first one. Title that starts with the. Let's take a look. Okay, I have quite a few that start with the. I have The Death and Life of the Great Lakes, which is a book I did start in 2024 and then never finished, so that is an option. I have The Frozen River, which is a borrowed book to me. I have The Little Wartime Library, which is also another borrowed book. This one I've had a lot longer than The Frozen River, both borrowed to me from my mom. I have The Devil in the White City, which is my book. I have The Blind Assassin and The Hidden Reality. All 3 of those are my books. I also have The Remains of the Day, and I am leaning towards this one. It's short, but it is one that I'm like very intrigued to step into. I also have any of the Lord of the Rings ones, so I'd probably start with The Hobbit, because that's the prequel. I also have The Inferno, which is a borrowed book, and I have The Silent Patient, which is one that I just purchased, which I'm very excited to read. I think I'm going to go with The Remains of the Day. This is one I'm really intrigued to read by an author that I'm interested to read. It's a pretty short book, and I just would like to step into this author's writing and see if I enjoy it. So The Remains of the Day for a book that starts with the. I'm going to fix these really quick. And time for pick number 2. my one here. A book about family. I'm going to have to dip into some of these and see what I have. Okay, I picked out 3 options, and I kind of went with the idea of family being a strong center point of the story. The Unmaking of June Farrow seems like it centers, like the storyline centers around the history of her family. So this is an option, and also a book that I would be very excited to read. The Silent Patient centers around a husband and wife, so I would be interested to read that. And then this one is about a grandmother and granddaughter and something with that relationship, and that is how I'm able to deduce that. I think I'm going to go with The Silent Patient. I've just been thinking about reading this book, so I'm going to put this on my TBR. Pick number 3. Let's show you one from the bottom. Okay, skinny one. Number in the title. Let's take a look. Okay, it looks like the only one that has a number in the title is The Two Towers, but I can't read the second book in a series. That wouldn't make sense. So I think what I'm going to do to get around this is pick up I can either pick up The Fellowship of the Ring, or I will set this one off to the side and add it back in after we're done. So I think I'm going to do that and do pick number 3 again, just because there isn't really anything else on here that has a number in the title. So let's try pick number 3 again. The other thing I could do is look at my Kindle, but I'm not going to do that for this month. Okay, book that was a gift. This one, I think, is trying to get me to read the Lord of the Rings one. So, do I start with The Hobbit, or do I start with The Fellowship of the Ring? I think we'll start with The Hobbit. And read this. It's got really small font because it's a pocket-sized book, but I'm excited to read this. This is my most recent book gift, so I think the draws are trying to get me to read this. So The Hobbit is a book that's a gift. It's a very neutral tone TBR. And let's go with pick number 4. Ooh, I think I have 2. Let's go with the bigger one. Title that starts with a vowel is pick number 4. So let's take a look. Okay, my 2 options are Out of the Woods or A Man Called Ove. I've had this one sitting on my shelf for a very long time, and this one I've only had for a couple weeks, so I think I'm gonna go with A Man Called Ove. Add that to my TBR. And one more book that I did want to get to in the first week of February, because I will be seeing my sister, and I was hoping to get on this TBR, but it just did not happen. So I'm going to personally add this on here. Is Carrie Soto is Back. This is a borrowed book from my sister. It is by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I've read a couple of her books, so I'm going to add this one to my TBR so I get it read to get back to my sister. So let me tidy this up quick. And let's go through our TBR for the month of February. So I have my rollover from January, Hidden Figures. A title that starts with The Remains of the Day. A book about family. Dropping books here. A book about family, The Silent Patient. A book that was a gift, The Hobbit. A title that starts with a vowel, A Man Called Ove. And then a book that I want to read in February, Carrie Soto is Back. So that is my February TBR. Ooh, words are hard. That is my February TBR and all the books that I would like to get to in the month of February. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.